Make America Smart Again. Episode 4. Monopolies. The ultimate pay-to-win game. Introduction. Ever notice how everything seems to cost more these days, but you have fewer choices about where to buy it? Welcome to America's favorite game show, Monopoly, where competition goes to die. Remember playing Monopoly as a kid? Landing on boardwalk with a hotel felt like financial death? Well, guess what? We're all playing that game right now, in real life. Except this time, we're not the top hat or the race car. We're just the tiny houses getting swept off the board. And unlike the board game, these monopolies don't just own Park Place. They own the whole damn board, the bank, and probably the company that makes the dice. Monopoly 101. But what exactly is a monopoly, you ask? Picture your neighborhood. You've got 3 grocery stores. There's Family Foods. Been there 40 years? Great produce section. Quick Mart. Not fancy, but decent prices. And Fresh Choice, where the fancy people buy their organic kale. Then one day, poof, they're all owned by Mega Market Corporation. Same stores, same signs, but suddenly, prices up, quality down, workers' wages frozen, customer service. Take it or drive 20 miles to the next town. That's a monopoly. When one company, or a small group of them, controls so much of a market that they can basically write their own rules. And trust me, those rules usually read like a billionaire's Christmas list. So, how do monopolies happen? Now you might think, surely this isn't legal, right? Oh, it's legal. In fact, it's more legal than ever. Remember back in 1904, when Teddy Roosevelt was breaking up monopolies like a bouncer at a rowdy bar? Those days are gone. Today's government isn't breaking up monopolies. Remember in episode 1, how we talked about money in politics? Well, those same politicians who take corporate donations are the ones turning a blind eye to monopolies. It's like they're playing matchmaker for corporate mergers. It's more like they're Tinder matchmaker. Here's how it usually goes. Step 1, company gets big. Step 2, company buys competitors. Step 3, company donates to politicians. Step 4, politicians suddenly develop selective blindness to monopolies. Step 5, repeat until you own everything. The consumer squeeze. Let's talk about how this affects you. Remember when you could choose between different airlines? Now it's just 4 major carriers controlling 80% of flights. Various internet providers? Most Americans have only 1 or 2 options. Multiple grocery stores. 5 companies now control 60% of all grocery sales. Phone carriers? Remember when we had more than just AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile? Banks? The top 4 banks now control 50% of all deposits. Healthcare providers? 76% of markets are now highly concentrated. Eyeglasses? One company, EssilorLuxottica, controls 80% of major brands. Baby formula? Just 3 companies control 90% of the market. And here's the kicker. Prices keep going up, but it's not because of costs. It's because you have no choice. So they price it as they wish. Let's look at the real numbers. Airline tickets, up 40% since 2019. Baggage fees, from $0 in 2007 to $35 to $50 per bag now. Change fees, can hit $200 per ticket. Internet prices. Americans pay $84 per month versus $31 per month in Europe. Grocery prices, up 25% in 2 years. Healthcare costs, up 31% since 2020. Prescription drugs. Americans pay 2.5 times more than other countries. Banking fees, up 8% annually, while interest on savings remains near zero. Mobile phone bills. Americans pay 2 times more than Europeans. Double dipping. Subsidies and price hikes. Now, here's where it gets extra spicy. Not only do these monopolies squeeze consumers with higher prices, they also get taxpayer money in the form of subsidies. If you watched episode 3, you saw how tariffs make everything more expensive. Well, here's the kicker. The same companies charging you more because of tariffs are also getting billions in subsidies. It's like they're double dipping into your wallet. It's like winning the lottery and then getting a coupon for a free ice cream cone. Except the lottery is rigged and the ice cream is made of government cheese. Think about it. Big Oil gets billions in tax breaks for exploration. Big Pharma gets billions for research. Big Ag gets billions for farm subsidies. And what do we get? Record profits for them. Higher prices for us. And probably a pin at the rally. The politics of power. So how does this happen? Well, remember episode 1. Money and Politics, and episode 2, where we talked about how corporations dodge taxes. This is where it all comes together, like a greatest hits album of corporate greed. These monopolies don't just make good products. They make good investments in politicians. They donate to campaigns, hire lobbyists, and fund super PACs. And in return, they get laws and regulations that protect their monopoly power. It's a beautiful system if you're a giant corporation. For the rest of us, it's like baking the cake and not getting invited to the party. Now, here are the top companies receiving the most subsidies. This jet is too old for me. I need a tax break. Many companies receive more in subsidies than the taxes they pay. Who the hell pays taxes then? No wonder we have a deficit. But Tesla has a special place. Oh yeah. Some key observations. 1. The effective tax rates are surprisingly low across most companies. 2. Newer companies like Tesla and Foxconn have received substantial subsidies in shorter periods. 3. Energy companies consistently show low effective tax rates despite significant subsidies. 4th, traditional manufacturing companies tend to receive longer-term subsidies. The corporate welfare hypocrisy and the tax shell game. Let's take a moment to address 2 critical issues that highlight the systemic problems with corporate subsidies and taxation. First, we'll look at how some companies, like Tesla, receive more in subsidies than they pay in taxes, effectively living off taxpayer money while their leaders criticize social welfare programs. Second, we'll explore how many corporations avoid paying their fair share of taxes by exploiting loopholes to shift profits overseas, leaving everyday Americans to pick up the tab. Remember in episode 2 when we talked about how tax laws are written? Now you know why those loopholes are big enough to drive a yacht through? They were custom made for these companies. The Great American Wealth Escape. Let's face it, America creates a ton of wealth. The problem? Most of it doesn't stay here. It's like baking a giant apple pie, only to watch billionaires sneak out the back door with most of it, while the rest of us fight over crumbs. And here's the kicker. It's not because there aren't enough jobs. The real issue is how the wealth is distributed. Billionaires and corporations have rigged the system to grab the biggest slice, and then some. They're like that one kid at the birthday party who eats all the cake and then tries to steal the balloons. And now, they've set their sights on Social Security. After dodging taxes and pocketing billions in subsidies, they want to raid the one safety net millions of Americans rely on. But they're not doing it alone. Politicians, our supposed representatives, are their accomplices. Instead of protecting us, they're busy stuffing their own pockets. They're like referees who bet on the game and then act surprised when the billionaires win. Here's the bottom line. If we don't wake up, they won't stop. They'll take the pie, the crumbs, and yes, even the napkins. It's time to reclaim our piece of the wealth we helped create. Because if we don't, they'll keep taking more and leave us with nothing but the bill.